really burping over here. Give me a sec. Hello. Welcome to the Cretins podcast. We have been missing for over a year.
It's 388 days, I think, is the exact... Something like 380. Over a year.
We have been missing. We haven't talked to each other in over 380 days.
It's been a crazy good 380 days, man.
Yeah.
It's been the best 380 days of my goddamn life.
It's going to be depressing from here on out.
Mm-hmm. From now on, every podcast episode will be like times that by 2. So next one's going to be in 780, I can't do the maths, days.
That was not good maths, mate.
No. But eventually there's going to be like 4 more is what I'm saying. This is it. We're on our last legs. We're washed.
Yeah, we can't even meet each other in person through the podcast anymore. That's how bad it's getting.
We can't even go to a McDonald's car park anymore to film this. This is...
Yeah.
But the silver lining, though, is that we might actually be able to do this way more often now. The plan is once a week. We discussed this plan once yesterday. So the plan could change, but that's what's going on.
The plan was we talked yesterday on Discord and went, let's do a podcast again.
No, the plan actually originated because you was drunk and you was like, hey, Cretins podcast again. And then you reminded me we had a channel together.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later in this episode. Being drunk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're back. Hopefully we're going to be...
once a week, hopefully.
Once a week. But I'd say, worst comes to worst, you'd get 1 or 2 a month, I think.
Once a month? What is happening that we do once a month?
No,
that's going to be on you. That's not going to be on me.
Okay, mate. I just meant in general, mate. If something happens...
What's going to happen?
Wait and find out, mate.
Bro's waiting for some terrible news from the doctor or something. What the hell, bro? If something happens, I might not make it. So you'll have to wait and see if this podcast will continue.
The original concept of us making a podcast together, we're going to go through this, okay? We've had the idea of making a podcast for years now, and we still don't have interesting lives. So we still have never got any topics about ourselves to talk about. But I will say the original idea, first of all, was called MILF House, and we were just gonna have a show where we talked to loads of MILFs.
Just
MILFs everywhere.
We was about 16 when we come up with this idea. Like, hey, bro, do you know any hot MILFs? No. Do you? No. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, your mother, bro, is just gonna come in.
Okay, buddy.
Nah, I'm just messing around, man. She probably watched this as well or something, so we shouldn't say that. The original idea was that we were like, yeah, we're too young, we don't have any interesting lives, let's come back and do this. And then we're like 4 years later, we still don't have interesting lives.
Yeah, I mean, we tried. I don't know, did you even count, like, this is technically what, episode 4? 3?
3.
What even were the first 2 about? I don't remember.
Well, the second concept we had was the car one, which was a cool idea, but now
it was never gonna
we don't
work,
really... I mean, it could have worked, but I feel like we're just... I don't know.
We didn't have enough money for the petrol. That's what happened.
The original idea was we were going to go somewhere, park up, maybe get something to eat. We're going to review it at the start of the podcast, and we're going to be in different locations every time. Turns out we're not that adventurous, and we ended up in McDonald's car park every time.
Say every time. This happened twice. I mean...
Yeah, exactly, because we didn't have anywhere else to go.
There was a KFC down the road. We should have done that when we had the chance. Now we're
too expensive, mate. Can't afford that. KFC's
true.
price inflation is not talked about enough, right?
Yeah, and that brings us to the subject of today. Yeah, what's your subject? The KFC price inflation.
Popcorn chicken prices need to calm down right now, mate. I've had enough.
No, so what we discussed yesterday briefly was we're gonna try so like, what do we have a podcast about if we're both boring ass, just regular ass people, you know? we just come up with anything. I come up with a subject, he comes up with a subject, and then we cover like some news if it gets real dry. And then we just talk about, but the thing is we have to talk about whatever the other one wants, you know? So you could come in one day feeling really sad and you want to talk about, I don't know, a sad movie you watched, and then I have to, not that I really hope you don't do that, but I would have to actually talk about it for a while, and vice versa.
I'd feel bad for the viewer at that point, mate. Just we'd sat here for half an hour talking about a sad movie.
Talking about Schindler's List. I've never even seen it. Is that funny or sad?
Yeah, that's a comedy. It's a comedy movie, mate. Yeah.
I thought it was about people. I thought it was about Jews dying.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's a comedy movie from what I heard. So
I think it's a comedy if you're an 80-year-old German, but I'm not sure. But yeah, and then I could hit you with, I want to talk about, you know, I don't know. But do you actually did you come up with the subject or not? Because I've sprung this one on you pretty quick.
No, I didn't come up with a subject, and I'm drinking some tea right now.
This guy's having dinner on the podcast, right? Well, I did. Do you want to have mine?
Wait, can we say something?
It's our podcast, so knock yourself out, bro.
I was just going to say that the new concept of this, if we carry this on, hopefully we will, is that we are going to be doing a call, like a Discord call type thing. It's going to be online. And maybe every now and again when we meet up, because we do live not close to each other anymore, we will do one in person or something.
Yeah, like once every 100 episodes.
Wait, that's 100 weeks,
that's
mate.
100 weeks.
Every 2 years.
What's the date in 100 weeks' time? We'll
every 2 years, that is. So.
God damn. Yeah, but what are you saying? Continue.
What I was saying is, we don't live close to each other. This is one of the main reasons we're doing it online. And we'll see how this goes. If everything goes well for the next however long we do this, maybe we meet up and do some crazy shit.
Yeah, but you say crazy, we're just gonna end up at McDonald's again. Like it's not gonna be crazy, I don't think.
Nah, I told you, bro. I want to do a podcast in the Swiss Alps with the background looking fresh and crisp.
Yeah, that will be awesome. But for now, we are
two
on
white
Discord,
men talking.
Bro, on Discord. Anyway, speaking of white, this sounds about white. What is... Okay, this is my subject that I'm hitting you. The very first subject. And there's something that I'm very intrigued on what your answer was going to be. Because the question I'm posing today is it racist to do accents if you're making a joke?
No.
Why not?
Because I think it's funny, mate.
That's pretty much it, bro. That's my stance completely. Completely, bro.
There was no debate, bro. I agreed with you 100%.
I mean, we're not supposed to debate, but I just want to talk about it because I saw a really funny clip, and it was this guy, and he did a joke, and it was like, oh, there's always that one guy in every K-pop group, but he did like, there's this guy, and he did a Korean accent. And then he was like, there's always this one with a perfect...
Wait a minute. What did you say? He did a Korea accent.
Korean accent. But he's like, he's doing like a K-pop group. Like, right. He's impersonating
what does a Korean accent sound like so I can get a better grasp of
Squid Game.
Video? No, but you
just
have
think
to do
Squid
it
Game.
so I can... No, there isn't... But Squid Game, they talk in Korean, so... I need to know an English Korean accent.
I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. I couldn't do a Korean accent. I could do Chinese, Japanese, maybe Vietnamese.
You brought this topic up. You better do
I'm not a master though. I'm not a master of accents, bro. But yeah. So he did that, and then he had to apologize because But like, it was a really funny joke, and I was like, who is the bum ass person making him apologize for this? This is. It was like gold to me. I was like, this is amazing.
There's always a party pooper, mate, somewhere. You could literally make a video of you saving 10,000 kids with cancer and they say, why did you not save 10,001 kids? So...
Oh, I thought he was going to say you could make a video of you saving 10,000 kids with cancer, but then you do like a Jamaican accent, so it doesn't count.
Wagwan Baba Glad.
Yeah, but you saving 10,000 kids with cancer, the first black kid's room that you walk into.
Bomba Glad!
Brother! Oh, cancelled. Like, that's still a good deed, though. It doesn't cancel out because, but I mean, admittedly, that would be kind of racist. But
what? If you see someone and then you automatically do an accent, well, that's just that is just racist. That's not a joke anymore. That's just
no. But like, what's the morals in that though? If you save 10,000 kids, but you do a one racist accent, are you getting cancelled? This is like the Mr. Beast.
Wait,
thing.
but what's the context of the accent is the question.
We've already done it. You walk into the first black kid's room and you're just like, Bomba Clark, like how you doing, you know?
Yeah, but Bomba Clark is not really that bad. You're just saying a swear word, I think. So it's not, you know?
Okay.
So I think it's passable.
What? So you're saying it depends on the situation?
It depends on the situation, mate. If you just encounter your first Indian person outside and you start shaking your head about, that's just not going to work, is it? So,
well, actually, it might because they might understand you better.
You know what? This is revolutionary. Sometimes it means different things the way they shake their head, and that's not like a weird thing.
I don't understand at all. I don't understand at all why they shake their head. I think it's just nonsensical to me. I've never understood.
I also don't know why they shake their head, mate. I ain't been to India.
You don't have to go there to find things. You could just ask one of them.
No, but I feel like you'd find out more if you were in the country, you know.
Well, not really, because
you
you wouldn't learn anything because you don't speak the language.
But they speak English, a lot of them there. A
Oh.
lot of them speak English. I feel like the head shake's got to mean some sort of thing, like...
It doesn't.
If they shake it too fast, if they shake it too fast, they anger at you, like...
Yeah, that's a given, right? But up and down is yes. Left and right is no. That's universal,
But that's
right?
English shaking heads. They have a different...
No,
like,
that's everywhere else. That's everywhere else shaking heads.
That's like European shaking
They're the
heads.
only ones that don't shake... That shake their head different.
Mate, this podcast has gone off to a great start so far.
No, this is the question I posed. Is doing accents in a joke, is it racist or not? I think you're right. I think it does.
I said,
if the joke is good enough, it's passable.
It depends on the context, as I said. If you're just doing, like, I don't know, like, to be fair, you're trying to make a joke and you're trying to pretend to be someone. It helps doing the accent.
Yeah. But if you
It
just see a
helps me
Chinese
visualize.
person,
But it has to be a good accent, though.
but if you just see a Chinese person
accent,
and you're like, hello, like that's not alright. Is what you're saying?
No, that's not alright. But like, I don't know. Like it just if you have a story that goes with a joke and you need to like explain this character, for example. If I don't know, bro, like. What accent? What person? Give me an idea.
Chinese.
Chinese. What's his name?
Okay, now you're really throwing me under the bus. Wong, and that's Wong. I didn't repeat. I didn't repeat myself. It's Wong.
Wong. Okay. So mate. So Wong, right? And you're like. In your joke, right? In your story, you're
sorry. Is that his name, or is that you in the accent trying to tell me a football score of 1-1?
No, mate. That is his name.
Okay.
Right? So imagine I'm telling the joke here, like, and then I go, oh, I met this guy the other day, Wong, and then he said to me, oh, I like chocolate. That's not that great, because I
didn't hear an accent there. That was completely
exactly.
passable.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. There's no accent there.
Right.
But if you went, I like the chocolate, like that is just more like you can feel the character more. You know what's going on a bit more.
Not to be that guy, but I'm going to critique you. Your L's were too sharp for that to be a racist accent.
Yeah, but So I'm not racist. That's what I'm trying to say here. What?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, it gives the character life. It gives the character life.
Yeah. See, this is just us making a case. This isn't like a debate. People are gonna watch this like, man, both of these guys are pieces of shit.
Both are sat here agreeing why you should be racist.
Well, no, I don't believe that's racist. I think you're racist if you hate people because of they're a different race. I think you can do a good accent.
No,
know?
Exactly. Listen, is it racist every time someone goes, "Oh, there was this British guy," and then they do like a British accent that they would consider British?
No, I wouldn't.
Are we like getting offended by that? Because I don't get offended by that. I think it adds to the story.
Only.
No, that's just because it's a bad accent, though. Normally, right?
Do you think Wong listened to this with a big smile? I don't.
But
Wong is livid. He's typing in his keyboard. But that brings. Do you think Chinese people? You know they've got so many characters. How big is their keyboard? Is it like the size of the room or what? Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot.
Mate, what is this podcast, mate?
That was a good joke. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad. That was
a good joke. That was a good joke. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm gonna say like, I feel like it's fine if you do like, you know, like if I go, I'm gonna pretend to be a character. I go behind the curtain. I come back and I got blackface on. That's a bit crazy. If I come back,
I thought you were going to say squint in your eyes. You took it up 10 notches just then. that was quite a jump.
No, but what I'm saying is, you come back and you just do an accent. That's not that deep. I don't know. Like either way, I think it depends on the context, of course.
Yeah.
If you are saying you hate someone and then start doing that accent, that the person you'd hate.
Yeah, you got to do it out of love. You got to do it out of love.
Yeah. Out of laughter.
Yeah. If you're doing like a Chinese accent and you're filled with love when you're doing it, that's fine. If you're doing it and you're mad they messed up your Chinese order, you know, they gave you 6 egg fried rice, not 4 egg fried rice, you know, or no, the other way around, then that's not okay, because you're being mean, right? It's not okay to be mean. That's the takeaway from this podcast. But if you're being funny about it, I think it can make a great joke even greater if you have a great accent, you know?
Yeah, I think it has to be passable in terms of what it is, right? If you're just, you know, some people condescending, right? You go to a different country, you're like, can I have a beer? And they don't speak English. Like, one beer. Like, you don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I mean, see, they're not even doing an accent. They're but listen. They're not doing an accent. They're being condescending to that person for not speaking their language. If you go up to him and you speak it in his accent, maybe you'll understand it more. So...
No, we got a friend, and me and this other friend, we went to Italy once, and to the Italians that spoke a little bit of English, we were we were drunk. Okay, admittedly we was drunk, but like they would speak to us, and then we would speak back in like this shit Italian accent. You know, we would just like mimic that accent like subconsciously. I think it's just a human thing.
But why does everyone do that? Because I feel like I go somewhere and I could maybe do that instinctively without even noticing, and then I catch myself.
Yeah, I think it's just a human thing. I think you do it to fit in, because the more you feel you fit in, the more comfortable you are. You know, humans we're designed to fit into a group. But this is boring. We want to talk about funny accents, but we was just like chatting rubbish, and then we was talking to like the bartender, right? So we was at a bar, and then we went to another bar where there was a massive party going on. And the bartender from the old bar, their bar closed, so he come to the big party. And then he like patted me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hello, bro. Like, how are you?" And I was like, "Who the hell are you, dude?" And then he was like, "Oh, I'm the bartender." I was like, "Oh my God, it's you." And then he was like, "Where you guys from? Where you guys from?" And we was both like, "England, England." Obviously, he doesn't believe us because we're talking like absolute idiots. And he's like, "No, you're not from England." And then we both had to lock in and prove that we was English. But it's weird that we do that in the first place, you know? But I don't want to sound like a posho everywhere I go, you know?
Yeah, but English, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in Italy, you were like, by the way, you're on like some rural village in Italy, right? Out of context of this. If you were just like to them, oh, I went back to my house and I had a lovely bath. They're like, what are you saying? You need to fit in. You need to make them understand what you're saying in some regard.
Yeah.
You need to water down your accent quite a lot.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. Where do you think? Oh, okay. What's your best accent? As in, like, I got two questions for you. What is your favorite accent to do, and what is the most cancelable accent?
Sorry, my favorite accent to do. Am I just doing this on a regular?
Do you not do that? Am I weird?
Mate, I just never do that.
No? Okay.
You just sit there and start doing accents to yourself?
No, but I like it doing a good accent every now and again. That's why I posed the question in the first place.
Well,
but okay. What's the most cancelable accent you think? That, like, if you just pull it out, people are like, yeah, that's racist by default.
God, mate, it'd have to be with context though, wouldn't it?
No, but okay, say out of context. What's one that if someone walked in and they didn't get any of the joke, and they've just walked in and you're going like, how, like, they'd say, oh, that's really bad.
I can't think of any, man.
You can't think of any.
To me, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't get offended. So I think you have to ask someone that would get offended to know this question.
Okay, but I'm gonna hit you with some accents. Not doing them, but I'm just gonna name them, and you. No,
you're gonna do it, mate. Because I can't.
Okay,
really...
fine, I'll do them. But you have to tell me 1 to 10 how cancelable / offensive they are. Okay.
Okay.
First one, Jamaican, me blood clot, pussy clot.
I honestly think it was just a weak accent, but mate, I'm
not asking you to rate my accents. It's how cancelable they are that I'm doing them.
You said out at 1 to 10. You said rate them.
No. Rating how cancelable they are, not how good they are.
I'm rating them on how good they are. Cancelable, it depends. You're doing that in Jamaica, I don't think you're safe. You're doing that anywhere else, people might not like it, but it depends, I guess. But just out of context, you get a mix of random people in a room. You come in saying that.
Me take the monkey back home, and me shagging the monkey, or whatever that guy said. Have you seen that video?
No, but this sounds really racist now you said it like that.
No, man. Me talking about a whole other story there, man.
Right.
Don't take that out of context. That out of context is 10 out of 10, okay? I realise my mistake now.
That is terrible, mate.
There's a famous TikTok with a guy with a Jamaican accent.
There isn't.
And he has sex with a monkey.
There isn't.
Yeah, yes, there is. Don't do that to me. But anyway, out of 10, how bad is that?
You know what it is? I think it's just polarizing more than anything, because there is white Jamaicans. And sometimes, like, I've seen those videos of like these white guys that grew up in China, and they got like a heavy like Chinese English accent.
Good. Those are so good. I love them.
And you look at it, and you look at this person. Sorry, not it. You know what I mean? You look at this person, and you're like, are they being racist? And then you just realize that's just their accent. So how can you, without any context, someone comes in a room, does an accent, you can't judge someone off that. And if you do, you are the racist. That's my point.
That's a great Uno reverse card. But that's not a question I asked though. But that is a great point. I'm not dogging you on the point. But what, Jamaican accent out of 10, what was it?
Cancelable or offensive, right?
Yeah.
4, mate.
4. So like, if you
I like their accent, and I like the Jamaican videos where they say "bomba clout" every time. I like that.
They're
videos.
So good. They're my kryptonite, dude. I want to make I do on my channel the what's it, the countries videos things. I want to do a Jamaican one because those videos kill me, man. 6 bomba clout ras clout eggs. Oh, it's too good, man. Okay, anyway, next accent. Chinese.
No, you shouldn't. You didn't give me any context, mate. If there is no context, I wouldn't have any context to what you're doing.
What are you talking about?
If this was a room with just random people and you walk in and start speaking in an accent, I wouldn't have a context to what accent you're trying to portray to begin with. So you should just start with the accent.
Give me a sentence.
I like rice.
I like rice.
That's I think that's bad. I think that's bad with the sentence. So.
Your sentence. Okay, I'm glad we're splitting the blame. I like it. Thank you. That's probably the worst sentence actually that you could walk in a room and you see a white guy go, I like rice. That's, if you're Asian, it's on site, I think, with that. But that's what I don't understand though.
But I like rice too though, so
no, but like that's what I don't understand. Flip the script. You walk in a room, there's an Indian bloke sat on a table talking to his Chinese friends, and he's going, I love fish and chips. Really good on Tuesday.
No. Indian and Chinese ain't friends, mate. So this is not good.
You're right. So there's a bunch of Indian people, and one of them's doing a British accent, and he's saying, oh, I love fish and chips. Oh, you know, I'm not offended. I'm fist bumping him. I'd love that.
Okay. And then you go up to him and do an Indian accent too.
But that's the thing though, like, but if you walk in the room and there's a white guy going, I love rice, like, and you're Chinese, I don't think they would be happy.
No, bro, but I don't know.
I think it depends on the person. If it's a Chinese guy
if you're
like me and you, they
charismatic
won't care.
Nah, if you got enough aura in the way you do it and the people around you, they won't care.
I think if you do a really good Chinese accent, then it's passable. Because then he'll just start hitting you with some. He'll just hit you back like, me too.
Right, exactly, bro. Like you got to think like you sat at the table. Every single person at the table is a different race. Mm-hmm. You're all doing each other's accents. That's calm. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I feel like there's I just see nothing wrong with doing accents. You know, if you're doing it for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
For fun, and you're not trying to like ostracize someone. Like say there's one Chinese guy at the workplace, you know. But like if you're just doing it for fun or like in a joke, I think it's fine.
I think accents are so varied in the world, man. I mean, there's literally people of all different races with all different accents. Literally, like, you get a Chinese guy born in England, he's going to have an English accent. So
I follow one of them on TikTok.
Exactly. You're not going to get annoyed at him for being born in England and having that accent.
No. That'd be ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous to say that, man.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. You can be born anywhere. You can have any accent. It doesn't matter. This is the end all be all of this subject is you choose whether or not to be offended by it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like you're Portuguese, but you talk English normally. You don't sound like a paedophile. Are you cutting out? Hello?
What the fuck do you mean, bro? Like. I bet you right now, pull up the statistics, there's more paedophiles in the UK than there is in Portugal, mate.
Okay, Jamie, pull that up of the podcast. We're going deep with this one. I'm so down to fight you on this.
Oh, mate, that's not good.
What, is it really high?
Nah, I just scroll down. It's like over 4,000 children abused by Portugal's Catholic Church. Like, sorry, but can you not put me laughing at people being paedophiles? Yeah, I never laughed at that.
What? No, you can laugh at people being paedophiles. You can't laugh at people getting paedophiled. More than 30 since January 2022 is what it's told me. I'm starting to think the stats aren't out there.
What? Yeah, I don't think they want to release the stats.
Breaking news, there's more than 30 in the UK. Over 4,000, yeah. And that's just by the church. So I think you've been smashed.
Right, mate, but that's just not true. There's 4,000 children, mate. That could be done by 1,000 doddies. 4 children per doddy. Like, anyway, back to the original topic is accents.
Accents? You want to go back to the racist accents, do you?
No, what were you saying? You said I was Portuguese and then this all started, I see.
So if I was doing a Portuguese accent and you walked in the room, you would get offended. You'd try to hit me.
No, but can I hear your Portuguese accent out of interest?
What? Give me a sentence.
I love Ronaldo. He is the best.
I love Ronaldo. That's what you sound like. You sound more nasally than that. I love Ronaldo. He is the best. You sound weirdly Slavic.
That's just Borat.
No, like, Borat is different. Borat is different.
Borat is higher. Borat. That's not, and Borat is from Kazakhstan, which is a completely different place. So
I don't think Borat is an accurate representation of Kazakhstan. If I'm being 100.
But that's what. I know that too. But I'm just saying, like, that doesn't sound Portuguese to me. That sounds like you're just pretending to be Borat.
But you do sound weirdly Slavic though. That's something I've noticed about Portuguese.
I don't think we do.
The language, it sounds weirdly Slavic. Portuguese sounds Slavic. It's like Spanish if you got hit with a pan by a Russian and like it like infused into you. That's what Portuguese is. To me anyway. Basically what we're realising is I couldn't get away with a Portuguese accent because you're Portuguese. So maybe Wong Wong is very unhappy actually.
I guess to the person that is from that place, you definitely don't sound like an accent. To the global ear that hears the accent and has no clue how to speak the language or whatever,
it's probably all right.
It's passable a lot.
But you said earlier, if we walked in a room and someone's hitting them with a British accent, but it's like a shit American British accent, I'd get annoyed because of how bad the accent is. I'd think it's funny, but I'd be like, that's not what you sound like.
Yeah, every time I see the Americans do an American accent, no, God, no, that's not what.
Heaven forbid, those are the worst.
Every time I see an American like on TikTok or something, like they're trying to be funny doing a British accent, they're just so terrible. Bad. Like one in 50 will do a good one.
Yeah,
but
every time I see a good one, though, I'm in denial, and I still comment it's shit. I still comment like I'm gonna bomb your house or something.
Because, to be fair, I don't think I have a great American accent, because I definitely don't.
I can't do one.
And in my head, I would say it, and I would say it out loud, and maybe it would sound okay to me and you and to a lot of people, but the Americans, they're going to be like,
you can't trick the native ear. You cannot trick the native ear, man. But
exactly.
The thing is with Americans doing English accents, I think there's not one of them out there that thinks they can do a bad one. I think they all think they're, like, incredible. And it's that level of ignorance. Oh, you know, that annoys me.
This is a weird topic, right? This is a weird topic, but this is about Americans, and it's just come into my head because I've thought about this before. Why, right? Why do like I would say the majority of black people in America call themselves African Americans? Because
when they've been there so long.
Yeah, exactly. They're American. They're American. They're Black American. They're not African American.
No, but it's a different place. And also, American culture, they're very clingy. And this is becoming what we don't like about Americans. I think most of my audience is American.
New subject. That's fine. We switch it.
No. Oh, okay. What? This is your subject. What you don't like about Americans?
This is my subject. Like, okay, Americans and clinging onto the past, mate.
Okay, but for them, the amount of them that are like, oh, I'm Irish. No.
Yes,
the amount of them, oh, I'm French. Oh, I'm German. You're not. You're just not, you know?
Yeah, they're American.
Oh, like, the amount of... There's more Americans that think they're Scottish than there is Scottish people.
Mate, right, listen. My dad was born in Africa. I do not tell people I'm African, English, Portuguese, mate. Like...
Yeah, no, I don't know, but yeah, with the African American thing, I feel like that's just because of the big there is a decent cultural rift between, you know, African Americans and other Americans, I think, and I think I don't know. Obviously, I think it's just because they've had such a shit time there that they're like, no, we don't feel like one of you yet. Because
yes, I know what you mean. Until the 60s, basically all the way up till the 60s, it was very
until
bad.
The nows, bro. Until the nows is still terrible.
No, but you know what I mean. Until the 60s, it was like really bad.
Atrocious, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still weird to me that they would, you know, like people from like Boston area a lot of them descend from like Irish, right?
Mm.
And they have a weird American accent, and the Bostonian accent is quite weird.
Mm.
Like
keep digging.
But
you're nearly there.
But what I'm saying is, none of them, like, okay, maybe if you are from Ireland, you're Irish, but you know what I mean? None of them are Irish. Because your great-great-great-great-grandmother was Irish, that does not mean you're Irish. You're American now. You are not Irish.
Yeah. But at what point does that change? Where do you draw the line in the sand?
I think
if you're born there,
at least grandparents. I think you shouldn't go back further than grandparents. That's four.
No, but you realise if everyone looks at their grandparents and says, well, they were this, that's why they all think they're still Irish. That's how that's happened.
No, but what I'm saying is, where were their grandparents born type thing?
Okay, yeah. I agree with that.
I feel like if you go back like too much, it's too many relatives. Because, yes, fucking Homo sapiens started becoming a thing in, like, Africa. So were we all Africans? Like, you need to have some sort of boundary here of when to stop going back in your family tree to say what you are.
My surname's pretty French, but I'm not French, you know? I don't claim that.
You probably are somewhere down the line, but you're not going to claim you're French.
Like 1,000 years ago, I might have...
Your family
champagne was promised to me 1,000 years ago.
Your family's probably related to like one of the like Normans that invaded England back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't claim that Norse French heritage. You know, I don't claim to be a French Viking.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing, and I feel like it only happens mostly in America.
Let's move on to the news.
We're moving on. My closing statement is:
Are you what?
Try to be a better person than you were yesterday, or something like that.
Especially if you're part of maps. Yeah.
You know what? We should do a quote of the week every week on this podcast.
You just proved to me that you are extremely white.
Why is that?
Quote of the week: live, laugh, love.
No, but not that. Like, I bet like an interesting quote.
Okay.
Live, laugh, love.
Is it quote of the week or is it quote from Purge of the week? I think we should do the second one. Quote of Purge from the week. What was it?
Mate, I know a quote, but I have to search it up because else I won't be able to say the quote.
Ugh.
This has nothing to do with what we talked about.
Is it going to be Master Oogway or something?
No, it's a real quote by Jacob A. Riz. So,
okay.
This is actually a real person. I've not made this person up called Jacob Riz.
I'm not sure I believe you, but
when nothing seems to help, I go look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet, at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Keep that quote in mind until next week, and then you change your mindset completely to the next quote. Yeah.
So what you're saying is when we get cancelled for the Wong Wong joke, it wasn't the Wong Wong joke that broke the camel's back. It was actually
the whole podcast.
All of the Jamaican ones that we did beforehand. Okay, well, let's move on to the news, man. Let's move on to the news. I think we should do it. So 1 week I'll get a news story that I like, and the next week you get a news story that you like.
Or we both just get one a week if we can.
But then the podcast is going to be too long, I think. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We're still figuring this out. But this week I found a great one. I'm going to send you this link. You can have a little read through, and we can discuss it. There's been some beef. I loaded up Twitter this morning. Right. I loaded up. This is the news. This is the news bit of the podcast. I loaded up Twitter this morning, and Playboy Carti tweeted, "Yay, shut the fuck up." And I was like, "That's pretty big. That's pretty big news." Do you know who Playboy Carti is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He just dropped a new album. It sucks, but we're not looking at that. And this week's news is there was a Kanye Crashout, which could be a bit of news every week.
I'm not gonna lie, I literally couldn't care less.
You couldn't care less, but it is quite funny.
You gave me some news stories I could not care about.
Shut up!
Celebrities beefing.
But you have to be interested because it's quite funny. He's mad. Kanye is mad that he was not on Carti's new album, which sucks. But we're gonna skip over that. And then Carti asked his daughter to do some vocals for the album, and he got annoyed that he himself wasn't asked, right? And then when I was looking at this beef, which is news in itself, I found this. Kanye released a song featuring, guess who?
Did Kanye make a song with Abraham Jankel Moshe Giselle Shulm?
What sort of spell did you just cast on me?
I searched up most popular Jewish names.
No, he didn't. He actually made a song with Diddy.
Ah.
You have no reaction to that. That's news. Come on, man. Give me something. Give me something, bro.
Ah, Diddy, yes. Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro. That's news. But he put Diddy on a song with his own daughter, by the way.
Wait, sorry? Wait.
Diddy and his daughter. No, Kanye.
Playboy Kai ain't got anything to do with this anymore.
No, but they were beefing, and this is like, this happened as well.
So his response.
Playboy Kai caused the crash out. He caused the crash out. He caused the Ye crash out.
How did Diddy hop on the song? I thought he was in jail.
Because at the start of the song, there's a phone call, and I'm gonna read the. I laugh at this. I'm gonna read the phone call out. This is what happens at the start of the song. Diddy says to Kanye, "I just want to thank you so much for taking care of my kids, man." He said, "Ain't nobody reach out to them. Ain't nobody call them." Right? Then Kanye replies, "Absolutely. I love you so much, man. You raised me. Even when I ain't know you, you know what I'm saying." If there was one human, aside from Michael Jackson and Jeffrey Epstein, that I didn't want to be raised by, I think it would be Diddy.
Listen.
When you was raised in Portugal, this is nothing.
This is... I don't know what these jokes are, bro. I don't even know where these are coming from.
My heart.
There was just no indication of... Okay, whatever, man. You know what? Maybe it explains why Kanye's mental health isn't been well lately, man.
Maybe. But
he's been traumatized by being raised by Diddy. So...
But to put your own daughter on a song with Diddy, that's like Dwayne Wade to LeBron James.
Though. That's generational.
That's Dwayne Wade to LeBron James. You know, and the ball is your daughter. You know, you don't want to do that.
Nah, but that is No, but listen, bro. How can you top that? How can you top that? How can anyone go, "Oh, I made a song with this"? He could be like, "I put Diddy on a song with my daughter." Different level, mate.
I'm sorry, what is good about that?
It's not good. I'm just saying, no one can top that.
You're just saying no one can do that anymore.
Yeah, no one can say flex. They did it first.
You're saying that's a flex. You're saying it's a flex. Like, if I got Diddy on I think Diddy features are an all-time low. I think anyone could get Diddy on a song right now.
No, I don't think so. I feel like it's hard to reach.
Diddy. Not really.
Can you call Diddy? Do it right now then. Put him on the podcast. Go on, I'm interested.
All you got to do is put your butt in his face, you know? Put some baby oil
So
on
wait,
it.
So what you're telling me is that you're going to go up to him and do that so you can get a Diddy feature?
If I get desperate enough, I could. All you got to do is pour baby oil on yourself and run at him naked, and he can't say no to anything, I heard. You know? But he's in jail. No one's reaching out to him in jail. He's just there to rot. He'd hop on anything, I bet. I bet the only reason he's hopped on this Kanye thing is because he didn't know Kanye got cancelled. He probably thought, wow, what great PR. Little does he know, Kanye printed shirts with the bad symbols on them. That's about as bad as it gets.
To be fair...
What are you about to say?
It's not like... What I was going to say is, to be fair, like, in Diddy's point of view right here, it couldn't get any worse, could it? Like, he realistically couldn't make friends with people worse than what he's done at the moment. So maybe it's a step up for Diddy.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, anything is a step up from being in prison, yeah.
But yes, it's a step down again from Kanye. He's trying to go low.
Which is what we're talking about. Ye is the... Also, Kanye then went on Twitter and said Jay-Z and Beyonce got retarded kids. Which I think...
But is that a literal statement or is that...
No, he tweeted... at least Jay-Z and Beyonce get to raise their retarded ass kids.
But are these kids disabled or is it just...
You're saying, is he speaking... I think they're just normal kids. I think he's just angry.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine.
But that's like... They used to be close. They used to be good friends back in the day. That's like me and you growing apart and then you see me on Twitter and I've said, at least Purge and his wife get to raise them retarded ass kids.
I'm not gonna lie though, if I knew you and you had kids, I would probably call your kids retarded.
Just everyone that you know.
I don't see that as that bad.
I don't see that as that bad either. But if there's one thing I've learned is that when we agree on something like that, that's probably not something to agree on. That's probably not good, yeah.
We've agreed a lot today, which is not a good
people
sign.
are realising why we're friends, I think. You know?
Yeah. But all I say is, you know, if the kids had, like, problems, I feel like it's quite bad to say, but if they're chilling, innit? What's it gonna do? I will say though, you might just be a 5-year-old catching a stray from Kanye West, but
yeah, but imagine going into school the next day and you're the kid that Kanye West randomly has called retarded.
Low key. At least he knows you. At least he knows you. But then I will say he knows you and he's friends with Diddy, so maybe it's not a flex.
Yeah, you don't want to get on his bad side. The naughty step in Diddy's house is not only slippery, but you just don't want to be there, I guess.
Kanye's next tweet. I gave your retarded kids his number to Diddy. Don't anyone mess with me again, or I'm giving out numbers. I've got Diddy's number. He's gonna secretly put it in their phone and get them taken away by the police. But yeah, that's the news story for today. Kanye crashing out. That could be a segment every time. What do you mean? Kanye crashing out every time?
Kanye crash out. What's he crashing out over this week? Yeah.
Let's react to didn't he divorce his
new wife? I think so. I'm not sure, but I can't.
Mate, I can't keep up with it, mate. He is just on another level right now.
We want to do news things every week, but I'm not going to be real. That was awful. You gave me nothing.
Yeah,
so if it's just me reading PowerPoints, let's not do that. I'm not
gonna lie. It just didn't seem interesting when you said Playboy Carti and Kanye West were not happy with each other, mate. To me, that was just.
No, but the meat and potatoes is he's calling kids retarded.
But that's fine.
Okay, which we've established. I don't think that's fine, by the way. I think to do in public, you probably shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. I don't know. If you're friends with someone behind closed doors, go for it. But he's angry at these people too. He's not doing it like as a joke. He's saying your kids are retarded with chest and with malintent. I don't think that's fine. But if I said it to your kids, fine.
Do you think Kanye could ever come back from this situation?
If he dropped another album like Graduation, I think he could come back from anything. I think it doesn't matter what he says. If he drops another generational album.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got a generational album left.
I don't think he does either.
He has he can maybe drop one or two good songs, but that's about it.
I think the problem with him is he thinks he has one or two generational albums left, and he's got a phone call with Diddy left. That's what he pulls out.
Bro, I don't think that's bro, I honestly, out of all Kanye's problems, I don't think him thinking he has a generational album left is his biggest one.
No, I don't know. I think
his his biggest problem is literally that he thinks he's a prophet or something. Like, he thinks that he speaks the truth in some regard. Like, not his opinions, because he thinks of himself as, like, a superior
higher being. Yeah.
So he says some ridiculous things with chest, not holding anything back. And it just doesn't ever come out right.
I think that's why Diddy got bored of him as well. Never came out right.
Decided to get locked up.
It never came out right.
I think every rich, powerful person has done one or two things in their life.
Do you consider yourself rich and powerful?
No.
Do you consider yourself famous?
No.
I wouldn't either consider myself famous.
If I was going outside, every day and I was getting recognized multiple times in a short span of time, I would then consider myself somewhat famous.
How many times have you been recognized? Is it just
like a couple? Barely any. A few times maybe. But I don't mind that though. I feel like
a couple
it's
times
weird
every now and again. I'm sure no one would mind. But if being PewDiePie or Ronaldo or Messi or
but PewDiePie doesn't have that type of thing. PewDiePie is famous to me and you type thing. PewDiePie is not famous to the average person.
Yeah, whatever. But I think even that level would be super annoying. I would hate it.
But look,
I would hate that.
Yeah,
I hope this podcast never lifts off, bro.
You know when Speed goes to a different country, but that's not fun.
I would hate that. Yeah.
Like, yes, he's going there. He's getting the content. He's getting money. He's getting views. He is definitely.
He's getting touched. He's getting touched a lot, bro. It's like Jesus walking through this crowd. Everyone's like reaching out. It's actually it's crazy. I would hate that. You know, how many times has someone slipped a finger in that man's ass? You think? Probably more than.
I would say he's arguably one of the most famous YouTubers, not because of subscriber count. I just meant in terms of people noticing who he is because of his virality.
Yeah, definitely.
People will notice Speed more than Mr. Beast.
I think so. Walk Speed through India.
Draw a bigger crowd, yeah.
Walk Speed through India.
He has been to India before, I think.
I know, but I'm saying if you walk Mr. Beast through India, you'd get like a massive crowd.
He'll stand out, yeah.
But if you walk Speed through India, he would be their prime minister by the end of it.
It's the different. I mean, Mr. Beast is also extremely famous. I think like my grandma knows who Mr. Beast is. She won't know who Speed is. She has like news stories about him. Speed has like viral clips of him talking to Ben on the phone, whatever it is.
Your grandma's seen them?
Yeah, she loves them, mate.
David, look, Ben. Oh man, I think if we talk any longer, we're at risk of permanent deletion off YouTube. So I think we should call it now.
Yeah, that was a good. We recorded for an hour and 20 minutes nearly. That was a good half an hour podcast.
I think
it's our first time recording in a while. I think we will only get better, surely. So
yeah, I mean, there's lots of brushing up to do on
topics.
Like the structure. The structure, I think.
Yes.
Right, that's it. That's it. I'm done. Turn the cameras off. The lights are too bright.
Right. Thank you for watching the podcast. Remember the quote.
All right, let's put this on Spotify. Let's start Spotify.
Yeah, we should do that as well.
I think you got whatever. That's not something to talk about on the podcast. We're ending the podcast.
Goodbye, guys.
See you next time, next week.